Old Man River, that old man river.
Welcome to Fresh Fishing. I'm Martin, aka Old Man River, and after 50 years of serving in the army and working for the MOD, I've retired and I'm ready to get out and do plenty of fishing. In this series, follow me whilst I vlog my fishing trips around the northeast. Each video will be a mix of 2 or 3 sessions combined. Hope you enjoy the content. Well, good morning everybody. Today I'm at Raker Lakes, which is just south of York. It's about 4 or 5 miles south of York. For those of you that know Poolbridge Farm, it's about 4 or 5 minutes further down the same road from Poolbridge Farm. So it took me about an hour and 8 minutes to get here. So not too bad. Little bit of a journey. I'm set up on the lake. I've got 3 rods in. I'll describe that all to you a bit later on. What I'll do first is just describe the procedure for booking the lake for a day ticket. Anyway, for a day ticket, you've got to book a peg. You phone the guy the day before you require to fish, and he tells you what pegs are available, and then you go for a particular peg, and then he books you on that peg, and you've got to stick to that peg. He said you can move if the other pegs are free after you get here, later on in the day, but essentially you've got to stick to that particular peg. It's £10 for 3 rods, which is good, and it's also a system where there's a shed on the car park with a toilet and a post box, and you go in there, you fill a day ticket, or you fill a ticket in for day, 24 hours or whatever it is you're doing. You put your £10 in an envelope and drop it in the letterbox, and so it's an honesty box type system, and that worked very well this morning. It looks like a good setup, nice, clean and tidy, good looking lake. Let's see how we get on. And I'm hoping I'll be talking to you later on with my first fish on the bank. So good luck, here we come. Time for a cup of coffee. I've just had the kettle on, brew's made, nothing yet, a couple of knocks on my left hand rod, cup of coffee now, and let's see how we go. Right, I've been fishing for about half an hour. My 3 rods are as follows. I've got one up the middle of the swim to the right of the island. There is a willow tree sort of hanging over. I'm just short of that. I've got that on a lead clip with a Parker Baits boilie. And then I've got to the left-hand side of the island, in between the aerator, I've got a rod up there with a method feeder and a Parker Baits boilie in the method feeder, and then round to the left of the swim there's another small island. You can just see it over this bush there, quite close in, probably about 4.5, 5 rod lengths, and I've got a lead clip boilie tight to that middle of the island under the trees there. There's no bait boats allowed, so it's careful casting, of course, and we'll after half an hour we'll see how we go. Hope to be talking to you soon. Just a couple of points of interest about the lake. There are 15 pegs on Kingfisher Lake, and the area is, as you can probably see, is surrounded by pretty mature woodland, large trees everywhere at the back of the peg, etc. So it's quite unusual. You can't see any of the other pegs from this particular peg I'm on, and I think that would be the case from most of the pegs, the way that it's laid out. So it's very warm today. It's not as warm as it was yesterday and the day before, of course, but it's 28 degrees forecast, and I'm in the shade all day by the look of things, so it's great. Really good setup. So they had just a couple of points of interest about the lake. Just about to reset one of my rods, and I thought I'd just show you the rig on this particular rod. Yeah, it's an ESP Mega method feeder. It's large size, 70 grams, with an ESP hook length off it, about 4 inches, size 6 hook, and I'm using a Parker Baits OG boilie on there at the moment. I'll show you what it's like once it's loaded up and ready to cast. And there we go, all loaded and ready to go. Hopefully that'll bring us something. Time for another coffee, second of the day. There's the greatest mug to make coffee in. I'm just going to have a normal Kenko coffee with 1 sugar and milk, and we'll see how we go from there. Right, I've been going about 3 hours now and I've not had anything yet. I've seen fish movement. There's been boshing around and about my swim, to the centre, to the left and right. I've seen movement of fish on the top, but nothing, the odd knock on the rods, but nothing nothing to get me too excited. What I was going to say was, when I gave you the lake details earlier this morning, I forgot to say that the size of fish in the venue, there are 4 or 5 fish over 30 pound. I think the lake record is about 33 pounds. Several mid-20s and fish over 20, and some quite good doubles in here. So supposedly plenty of fish. It's just as usual, getting them on the bank that seems to be the issue. Right, it's coming up to almost 3 hours in 5 or 10 minutes, and it's getting round to lunchtime. Breakfast was not McDonald's this morning. I didn't bother stopping because I wanted to get here as close to 7:30 as I could, and it took me 10 minutes or so to find the place once I got to the postcode. So I didn't stop at McDonald's, so I brought my breakfast with me. It was just a couple of egg mayonnaise sandwiches, which went down very nicely. And lunch, I've got a sausage roll and some fruit and a biscuit, and I'm going to have a cup of tea. So I'm going to get the kettle on, have a cup of tea, and we'll talk later if we get some fish on the bank. Yeah, just after 3 o'clock now, and I've still had nothing. Not picking up any line bites, any knocks, anything for the last sort of hour and a half. I had a few knocks before in 1 or 2 different areas when I recasted, etc. But fish are not showing at the moment, so hopefully it's a dead period just before they start to come to life for the evening. I've got about 4.5 hours left now, so hopefully I can pick a bite up and we'll get something on the bank. Talk to you then. Bye. Yeah, it's 4:15. I've just had a visit from the owner. He was going around on his bike and cleaning up, etc. And he gave me a tip. He said that the last few times this swim was used, people were catching in open water as opposed to tight to the island where I've been trying. And also he recommended to flick a rod down the left-hand side just here, around these bushes, about 3 rod lengths, which I've done. Flicked a rod down there with the method feeder on it, and I've got the other 2 both in open water. We'll give it a go for the last couple of hours and see if we can pick anything up with those tips that I've just been given. So I'll talk to you later. Right, it's tea time shortly, and I'm having a M&S chicken, bacon and sweet corn pasta salad. Looks okay. Looking forward to it. I'm going to have that, and then I'm going to have a cup of tea. on the old stove again in the Bielsa cup. Right, I've packed up now and I'm just leaving the area, but I thought I'd just get a bit of footage of a different swim and top end of the lake. This is peg 1. The first peg as you come in from the car park, clearly. Quite a good swim. It was in use this morning. There was somebody had been overnight on it, so I couldn't get on it. But there's a small island there, quite a good set of margins down there, and the main island, a main island there in the middle of the lake. So top end of the lake might be an option for future reference. I didn't catch anything. I fished until about 7:15, and then I decided to knock it on the head. I don't know what it's been. I think possibly the water temperature. The water is lukewarm, really warm, and maybe 2 hot days the day before and yesterday, and the temperature not getting down below sort of 20 degrees yesterday has made a difference. Just switched them off, mate, basically, because I don't think anybody's caught anything. Although I couldn't see the swims, I could see the area that they were fishing in some stage, in some cases, and I never saw anybody pulling any fish in, to be honest. So it's been one of those days, but it's better than going to work, and that's all I can say as a retired angler. So we'll have another go at it in the future, I'm sure. All the best. Goodbye. Morning all. Today I'm at Southfield fishery. I'm on pond B, which is the larger of the two ponds, fish-wise. The guys fished it last Thursday, did an evening session, and they didn't do too badly. They caught a 16-pounder, Wayne caught a 16-pounder, and Foxy lost one at the net, so they didn't do too badly for an evening session. But that's really the time that it does tend to switch on, early morning and evening. I've fished this venue 3 times before. The first time I blanked. That was probably my first session after switching to specimen fishing from feeder fishing. Well, in the last few years, I used to specimen fish in the 90s, but I then knocked it on the head for a while and started up again with the feeder fishing and coarse fishing again. So yeah, the last time was the time I blanked was probably 2 years ago. Then I fished it once with Jonathan, and we had 3. I had 2, he had 1. And then the last time I was here was on the 3rd of July. I had nothing all day, but I had last thing in the evening about 6:30. I pulled a double out, just over 10 pounds. I didn't weigh it, but it was definitely a double, and so that was a consolation fish at the end of the day. So here I am on pond B. I'm at the far end, the end where it tends to fish better, so we're told. There's more cover for the fish up here, fallen trees, etc. It looks very carpy up here, so this is the end that we're told that fish is better. And I was told by the lady when I met her this morning and booked on, etc., that this fished quite well last week and this week in the evening. So if I don't catch anything during the day, which I'm hoping bonus fish during the day, of course, then maybe I'll pull something out tonight after tea, because I'm going to fish till about 8:30, 9 o'clock. So there we are, Southfield Pond B. We'll see how we go. Talk to you later. Right, here's the layout of the peg. Rod's all set up there and in. I'm fishing one under 3 or 4 feet under the middle tree that you can see there of the 3. And then I've got one rod over to the left of the island, in between just under the tree there that's hanging over the bank. And then my third rod is over the left hand of the two large trees. There is an overhanging set of bushes, and there's a little channel in between, and I'm just in there tight to the bank. The one in the middle here is probably 3 or 4 feet, well, sorry, a rod length and a half probably off the bank, so it's in open water. So we're trying there. They're irrigating the lake, the fields today, sorry, and the water comes from the lake and it freshens the water up. So hopefully you'll still be able to hear what I'm saying. Well, I've been fishing just over half an hour and I just had a run. Unfortunately, I was watching my brood kit, just starting to make a cup of coffee for breakfast, and it screamed off, obviously on the bait runner, and straight into the snags, under the snags. No chance of getting it out. So unfortunately I've had to snap the line. So what I'm going to have to do, it's obviously a good spot there, is I will put another bait back in that area close to it, but what I'll do is I won't fish it on the bait runner. I'll just fish it on a tight drag and watch the and on the maximum sensitivity setting on my bite alarm, and I'll see if I can watch it closely. If I get a bite there again, straight onto the rod. That's the only way I can manage it. Other than that, I'll have to come away from the snags and possibly won't pick a decent fish up from that area. So what I'm going to do now is put the kettle on, have a cup of coffee and my breakfast, which is a couple of egg sandwiches. I've had to pull all the rods in because I went over to the area of the snag to see if there was any way I could A, see the fish and net it, B, recover the rig, but I couldn't see either. It had obviously got straight under the branches, into the branches. I tried with the rod tip under the water at numerous angles, but unfortunately, crafty old sod had me. And not as old as me maybe, but definitely crafty around the snags. Anyway, there we go. Talk to you later. Well, here we go. It's breakfast time. Cup of coffee on the go. Taylor's coffee bag. See how that goes. Couple of egg sandwiches. It's after 9:30 now. Had to obviously reset the rods, retie the one that was snapped up, and I had another slight problem. Got one of the rods lines caught in the propeller of the bait boat, so had to untangle, cut that all off, and redo the rig. So I'm now fishing again, and I'm gonna have some breakfast. Well, I put the bait back in the same spot, about a foot backed off, so that it wasn't quite as dodgy with the snags. And I've picked up a small fish. It's probably about 7 or 8 pounds. What I did was I didn't fish it on a tight reel. I tightened my bait runner up as tight as it would go, and that was sufficient to keep it out of the snags, and I had it under control straight away and in the net within, I don't know, 2 to 3 minutes. I just put my coffee down from having breakfast, so that's a great start, having lost one and now got one from that area. So I'll be putting one or two baits back in that area, and we'll see how many more we can pick up during the day. Great stuff. Okay, here she is, or here he is. He's just a smallie, probably 5, 6, 7 pound, but a good start. Happy with that. I'll get it back in. Just to cover what bait I'm using today, on 2 rods on the hook, I'm using a 18mm Parker Baits OG Fish Boilie, and then 3 offerings are OG Fish 18mm dumbbells, some of them broken up, some of them whole. I'm using the bait boat, and I've got 1 rod on a method feeder with 4mm dynamite bait pellets, and I'm using a dumbbell on the hook on that particular rig at the moment. I've got some cork dust wafters from Parker baits and some other wafters and other baits as necessary if we need them. I'm also using the Parker baits OG fish sauce on the loose offerings in the bait boat, etc., and that seems to be doing quite well. Right, the machine has gone off, so I can I've got a bit of peace and quiet for a while. I can hear myself think. The temperature under these trees here in the shade, and it's been drizzling all morning. It's quite cool. It's only about 13-14 degrees, so I've just been to the car and got my Gore-Tex waterproof just to keep me a bit warm. Just reset the rods. Had nothing since the action earlier on. Reset the rods, put them back in similar places, and the feeder rod saw some bubbles, quite severe bubbles for about 5 minutes. So I've put them in that area, and we'll see how we go from there. Now, at the moment, it's 2-1 to the carp. If you look at that area straight ahead under the trees, that little channel, that's where I've got a bait. I just had another take, and I had to bully it out of the snags clearly, and I pulled the hook, unfortunately. So, as I say, it's 2-1 to the carp at the moment, but I'll persevere. We'll keep trying and see what we can get. Well, I've just picked up this one from the other side. Nice fish. It's 13.5 pounds, sorry. So pleased with that one, and I got that from just smack over, dead over the other side of the lake, in between the big tree and the opposite swim, just under the bushes there, and just picked it up literally 5 minutes ago. So I'll get this one back in, but that's great going. Well, the weather's sorted itself out now. It's nice and sort of sunny, bit cloudy as well, so sunny intervals, but at least it's better than the drizzle and the cold before. So things should start to switch on later on, I'm hoping, and we'll see what we can do. So another mirror, which is probably about 7 or 8 pounds. Let's get it out and have a look at it. So yeah, I just picked this mirror up from the snag area. It's probably 6 or 7 pounds. Took some bullying to keep it out of the snags, but we got there in the end and got it in the net. It put up quite a fight actually for a small fish. So that's great stuff. And it's also got a dodgy eye there. I've not seen that. Didn't see that before. So I'll get it back in. Okay, it's dinner time now, or tea time, or evening meal time, whatever you're going to call it. And I'm just having a Tesco chicken and bacon salad and a cup of Bovril. Yummy, yummy. Okay, I've finally caught on the method feeder. I boated it out to a spot over the other side and tied to the bank over the other side, and picked up this lovely mirror, which is probably about, again, 8 or 9 pounds. So good stuff. It's number 4, Old Man River 4, Carp 2, as we're scoring at the moment. So good stuff. I'll get this one back in. I'll do a bit of carp care on that scale that's come off there first though. And another one on the method feeder, another mirror. It's probably about 10 pounds. I think I'll weigh it. It looks like pushing a double, so I'll wait and see, and then I'll show you what it's like. Well, bit of a surprise, but it is a double. Here we go. It's just 14 pounds, just over 14 pounds and a few ounces. Lovely dark mirror. Again, on the method feeder. I just cast it back out and left it while I was sorting the other rods out, and picked it up. Great. So that's 5 now, which is a good score. Let's get this one back. Right, it's just after 8:45. I'm complete now. I finished all packed up. Had a very good day. Had 5 in total and lost 2 in the snags. One bullied out the snags and came off. The other one took me into the snags, and I had to snap the line and take it from there. Of the 5 that I got, the 5 mirrors, one of them was 13.5, one was 14.5, so very good. 2 good doubles there. It's the best day I've had on Southfield Bee Pond to date. Into 7 fish in the end, and landed 5 of them, so I can't complain there. And the other 3 that I caught, 5 mirrors actually, the other 3 were probably best 9 pounds, worst 6 pounds, so a good day all in all. That's me. I'm the last person on the complex. The good lady that runs the place and owns it said that I could stay until 9:30 if I wanted, but that's not required. I'm finished now. I'll probably give her a ring in a moment just to tell her that I'm finished. So all in all, a good day. My next session will be after I come back from holiday. We're off to the Cotswolds on a fishing holiday. Myself and Jonathan, or Foxy. So I'll see you after that on the next session. Take care, everybody. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. If you don't already, hit that subscribe button and click the alarm bell to get notifications.